Okay, lecture 2, what we want to do today is talk about sorting data. Okay? So what's going to happen is you're going to be given a lot of raw data. And again, under descriptive statistics, it's your job to make things look pretty. Okay? So let's say, for instance, that I gave you guys a quiz. Okay? And I came up and I wanted to display the grades on the quiz. Okay? And so let's say these were the grades. A, B, C, B, A, B, C, 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 B, A, B, 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 C, C, D, F. Okay? So these are the grades on the quiz. Now, it's highly unlikely that this is the actual way I would display the results of a quiz to you guys. So, without knowing statistics or knowing any of these formal definitions, what is a way that you can make this look a little bit prettier than it does right now? What is one thing you could do? Sure.
Alphabetize them?
Sure, you could alphabetize them. So you'd have A, B, 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 C, C, C. So that, okay, what else?
Maybe you just count the number of each letter and then just put one and how many numbers are there, I guess?
Okay, so split it up, the number of A's, the number of B's, the number of C's, the number of D's, and represent that with a number. Okay, that is exactly what I'm going to do, all right? So instead of displaying it like this, what I'm going to do is kind of make a little table. And in this table, I'm going to have two headings, class and what we call F. What F represents is frequency, the number of times that occurs, okay? So the possible grades will be our classes, and then the frequency is the number of times that grade occurs. Okay, so to finish this thing off, I'm going to go through, I'm going to count how many A's there were, and make sure I don't mess this up. 4, so I'm seeing 4 A's, and then I'm simply going to put a 4 in that column. And that represents that there were 4 quizzes with a grade of A. Then go through and count the B's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, looks like. Okay, and continuing, you guys go ahead and finish this off yourselves. Looks like 6 C's, 3 D's, and I had 1 F. Okay, and then what I'd like to do is put a line at the bottom of your frequency column, and we'll simply add these up, and that will be, what, 20? And so what is that 20 representative of?
Population.
Yeah, how many people took this quiz, right? Okay. This thing that we just did, believe it or not, is called a frequency distribution. And that is your first thing that you do with sorting data, okay? So sorting data, the first thing I do, it's called a frequency distribution. Frequency distribution. And all the frequency distribution is a table. And in this table we have classes and F, which represents frequencies. Okay? Now the first table we did was a really, really easy one, and they get a little bit more and more difficult by how many things you put inside, okay, your table. So there are 3 types of frequency distributions. What we just did was the first one. It's called categorical. Okay? And that's an example of the one we just did. Categorical frequency distribution is for things that are categories, like grades, blood type, religion, right? We saw that yesterday, or not yesterday, but 2 days ago. What were we talking about when we talked about categories? Under the heading Descriptive Statistics, We had two types of variables, right? What were those two types? Qualitative and quantitative. What were the categorical ones?
Discrete and continuous?
Yeah, the qualitative ones, right? Not the quantitative, not the number ones, but the qualities, okay? All right, we also have what's termed grouped and ungrouped. Okay? Now with grouped and ungrouped, these are for numerical data. Now, as an example, if I asked everybody in the room right now today how many hours of sleep you got last night, okay? And just round it up to a whole number. So I'd hear, like 6, 7, 8, 4, 10, 10, whatever, okay? So that would be an example of an ungrouped frequency distribution, okay? So with ungrouped, it's almost the same as this one, it's just that your data happens to be numbers, okay? So I'd have, 8 people said they slept 5 hours. 6 people said they slept 4 hours, on and on and on, okay? The one that is going to be the most important, and this is the one that's definitely on your first test, is called a grouped frequency distribution. Okay? Now, with a group frequency distribution, this would be an example of, let's say, instead of asking how many hours you slept, I asked you, I don't know, how much you weigh or something. Obviously, I would never ask everybody how much they weigh, but there's going to be a lot wider range, so what we would do is we'd group them. Oh, these are the people that weigh between 50 and 70 pounds. 8. These are the people that weigh between 71 and whatever, okay? So we're grouping the classes, okay? Okay, great. So what I need to do now is give you your steps for constructing a grouped frequency distribution.
What was an example for categorical?
What we just did, the grades, there were 5 A's, 6 B's, right? If we went with something else, it would just be that. All right. Steps for constructing a grouped frequency distribution. Grouped, and I'll abbreviate frequency distribution. Okay. Step number 1 is you have to find what we term the range. Okay? If you go through all of your data, your range is simply the highest value minus the lowest value. That's it. That's how you find the range. Okay? So it's your highest number minus your lowest number. All right, great. Step 2, we're going to figure out how many classes we want to display in our table. Okay? Now on a quiz or a test or a homework, your teacher will say, do a frequency distribution with 6 classes or 8 classes, or they'll specify a specific number. But if you're doing it on the job, then you determine what you think is a pretty number. Okay? I think this table will look great with 8 classes, so I'm going to have 8 classes. Okay? So step 2 is the number of classes desired. So that's telling you how many rows you're going to have. Okay? And again, on a quiz or test, I will say, do a group frequency distribution with 8 classes or something like that. That moves us to step 3. Step 3, we want to find the class width. Okay? Class width. So to find the class width, you take number 1, which is the range, and you divide it by the number of classes that you're going to have. So it's just a quick division. Range divided by the number of classes. And that will give you your class width. Okay? Now, what happens when we divide 2 numbers? Potentially.
We're supposed to get one number.
You're supposed to get
Okay, yeah, you'll probably get a number. What is that number often going to be? Yeah, a lot of times you'll have decimals or fractions, okay? So whatever happens with this number, you want to round it up to the next whole number, okay? So that's very important when you can calculate this. whatever this comes out to, let's say it comes out to 3.2, we're going to round it up to 4. Okay? So whatever it comes out to, bump it up to the next whole number. If it comes out to 5.0, you're going to round it up to 6. Okay? So if it comes out to a whole number, bump to the next whole number. If it comes out to any decimal at all, round it up to the next whole number. Okay? That's what we do. Make sure to do that. Okay. That moves us to step 4, and there are 7 steps. So, starting with the lowest value, write that number down. Starting with the lowest value, write that number down. And add your class width, which I'll abbreviate CW, vertically. Okay? So underline vertically, because that's a mistake that a lot of students make. Underline vertically to form what we call lower class limits. Okay? Start with the lowest value in your data, write that number down, and then add your class width vertically, and that's going to formulate lower class limits. And when we do an example, hopefully this will be much more clear. Great. Step 5, then do your upper class limits. And then step 6, after you've done upper class limits, you're going to do CB, which is class boundaries. And then after that, step 7, whatever your teacher asked you to do or your homework asked you to do or what you need on the graph. Okay, so there's a lot more things to add. We can add midpoints, MP. We can add frequencies. We can have RF, which stands for relative frequencies. We can have CF, which stands for cumulative frequencies. We can have CRF, which stands for cumulative relative frequencies, on and on and on. Okay? So whatever else we're adding on to our table. And it's okay that you don't know what these mean right now, because we'll see as we do several of these. Okay? All right, the goal for today is let's run through one complete group frequency distribution and just make sure everybody can do it. Okay, that's our goal. So be sure to have these 7 steps down because that's exactly what we're going to run through to do this. Okay?
How do you get the upper limits again?
Yeah, I'll show you as we do the example. Okay?
What was CF?
Cumulative frequencies. Yeah.
Cumulative?
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to erase this, and then we'll do an example together. Okay. So here's your raw data. These are the first bowling scores in a bowling class, okay? So I'm writing down a bunch of bowling scores. The first one. So here we go. 138, 142, 121. $125, $134, $107. $129, $128, $98. $115, $136, $115. $122, $117, $93. $128, $123, $144. $153, $127, $148. 133, 126, 141. One 123. 135, 126, 158. 99, 103, 107. 139, 143. Okay. So take a minute, make sure you have all of those numbers down. And then we're going to do a frequency distribution, okay? So what I would like to do is a frequency distribution with 10 classes, okay? Probably wouldn't usually choose 10 as a number of classes, but I want to make sure we understand the process, okay? So the directions for this will be construct a group frequency distribution with 10 classes. A group frequency distribution with 10 classes. Okay, so let's go through the first couple of steps. Step number 1, I need to know what the range is. So I need to scour through the data, find the highest value and find the lowest value, and then subtract them. Okay, so what's the highest value in this bowling scores? 158, okay, great. And lowest? 93 looks like. Okay, so your range is 158 minus 93, which is what? 65? Everybody agree with that? That's the end of step 1. Okay, moving on to step 2. What is step 2?
Number of classes.
Number of classes. And I told you how many? 10. Number of classes. And we're going to go with 10. Okay? So homework, test, or quiz, they will tell you that. Real world on your own, you determine it yourself. Okay? Step 3. What's next? Class width. What is the class width? How do I get it?
Range divided by number of classes.
Range, 65, divided by number of classes, 10, comes out to 6.5. What am I going to use? 7. Okay, whatever that number is, you bump it up to the next whole number. Okay, please do that. Okay, step 4, 5, 6, and 7, we're ready to actually start creating the table. Okay, so I'm going to erase this and let's actually start doing the frequency distribution now. Okay, so we have step 1, 65, number of classes 10, class width 7, and we're ready to do this thing. Okay, so on the far left, you're going to have classes. Okay? And we're going to have 10 of these, so make sure you have enough room on your paper. It says to do what? Starting with the lowest number in your data, which is what again? 93. You're going to add your class width, which is 7, vertically. So we're going to add 7 and put the next number. Okay, so 93 plus 7 is 100. So my next class is going to start at 100. Okay? Then 107. So everybody see what I'm doing there? So just keep adding 7 until you get to your 10th class. So you should have something like that going up to 156. And if you want, you can number these. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, is everybody okay with that? So I started with the lowest number and I added my class with vertically, okay? And that forms what we call our lower class limits. Okay? Now what's going to happen is I'm looking at these bowling scores and I'm trying to count how many bowling scores are in this first range from 93 up to some number. Okay? Well, if the second one starts at 100, then what number do you think I'm going to go up to for the first class? 99, right? So all the bowling scores between 93 and 99, I'm counting those. And then the next one will be 100 up to 106. Okay? The question was asked before is how do I figure out those upper class limits? And that's what we're doing right now. This is your lower class limit. This is your upper class limit. Okay? So scores from 93 to 99 will be your first class. Scores from 100 to 106 will be your second. Okay? And then go ahead and fill that in. So 113, 120, 127, 134, 141, 148, 155. Okay, and then put a little star on this last one, because a lot of times there's some confusion on how I figure out that last upper class limit. Okay? There's different ways of doing it, but I think the easiest way is if I pretended there was an 11th class, it would be 156 plus 7, which is 163, right? So that would be 163, and what would be 1 less than 163? 162. Okay? So make sure in your notes you write something that tells you, oh, how did I figure out that that was 162? Okay? Okay, we're almost done. What was the next step in our steps for doing the frequency distribution?
So we did 4 and 5 together, right?
Yeah, we did lower class limits and upper class limits. What's next?
Class boundaries.
Class boundaries. CB. Class boundaries. Okay. What class boundaries is used for is when we get into the graphing part of these frequency tables, which we'll do next lecture. But all you want to do is cut out the gaps. Okay? So to find class boundaries, what you're going to do is you're going to look at this number and you're going to subtract 0.5. And you're going to look at this number and you're going to add 0.5. Okay? So instead of 93 and 99, I'm going to do 92.5 to 99.5. So you take your lower class limit for each class and you subtract 0.5. You take your upper class limit for each class and you add 0.5. Okay? Go ahead and go through the rest of all of these and that will be your class boundaries. So your next one, notice, will be 99.5 to 106.5. So notice you have that 99.5 here and here. It's taking out all the gaps. Okay? And for the third one, you'll have 106.5 to 113.5. Okay, so you guys on your own, go ahead and subtract 0.5 on the left number, add 0.5 to the right number, and finish that off. Okay, so again, you take your left, which is your lower class limit, you subtract 0.5. You take your right number, which is your upper class limit, and you add 0.5. And that will formulate what we call CB, or class boundaries. Okay? Now, one question that you might be thinking about right now, and it's a great question, is what if these numbers have decimals? Okay? So what if instead of 93, that was like 93.25 or something like that? Then what do? And the rule is, you go out another 0.5, okay? So if the number itself has a decimal, you increase another decimal by that 0.5. Does that make sense? So if the number was 92.1, then you're going to subtract a 0.05. So you have to go out one more 5 decimal. Does that make sense? If the number was 92.183, you're going to subtract 0.0005, okay? And then you're going to add 0.0005. So put that in your notes for if there are decimals in the classes, you have to go out an additional decimal place. Okay? And I think you have that in maybe 1 or 2 homework problems. So keep that in mind. Okay, we are down to step 7, I believe, right? And what does step 7 say? Everything else. So, let's do the one that we have learned already. What does F stand for? Frequency. So now you're going through all of your data, all of your bowling scores, and you're counting how many scores were between and including 93 and 99, right? So how many scores were between 93 and 99? And you're looking and looking and looking, and I've already cheated and done it, so there's 3. Okay? And then similarly, for how many scores were within the range 100 up to 106, 117, 113, on and on and on. And you guys fill in the rest of that, okay? And then at the bottom of my frequency table, what do? I draw a line, and underneath I add up all of those frequencies so I know how many there were, okay? So go ahead and finish off, count how many bowling scores were in these ranges, and I will put up the ones that I got already, so you can check with me. I got 3 for the first one, 1 for the next one, 2 for the next one. Then 5, 8, 5. Then 5, 4, 1, 1.
I was taking notes when you went over that. How do you get the frequency?
So how many bowling scores were within this range, 93 to 99? So
Oh,
go
so
look at your raw data.
Look at the chart.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And see, and there should be 3. Okay? Just like how many A's were on the quiz, I go through the raw data and I counted there were 5 or whatever. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So I kind of cheated a little bit, so to save you some time, these are the numbers. And then at the bottom of your frequency table, what do? You add them up, right? And what does that add up to? 35. What does that tell you? What does that 35 tell us? How many people were bowling, right? How many bowled on that first class? Okay? All right. I know I've listed a lot of things in step 7, but the only one that I'm really, really concerned that you know and learn today is CF. And CF stands for cumulative frequency. Okay? So that's the one that we want to learn today. CF, cumulative frequency. What a cumulative frequency is, it's a running sum or a running total of your frequencies. Okay? The way it works is as follows. You bring that first frequency over, so I'm going to draw a little arrow there. Just bring that guy over. And then you're just going to do a running sum of the remainder. Okay? So 3 plus the next frequency is 4. 4 plus the next frequency is 6. I'm just doing a running sum. Okay? 6 plus the next guy is 11. 11 plus the next guy is 19. 19 plus the next guy is 24. Plus another 5 is 29. Plus another 4, 33. Plus a 1, 34. Plus another 1, 35. You'll know that you did this right if that bottom diagonal matches the numbers, right? If I'm adding up all those numbers, it better add up to 35. Okay? So again, just a quick repeat of what happened. You bring the first number over, and then you just add the next frequency. And just keep adding, keep adding. It's a running sum. Okay?
What did CF stand for again?
Cumulative frequency. Yeah. Cumulative. Okay? What could this actually be used for? Well, what if I asked the question, how many scores were below 135? How many bowling scores were below 135? What would you say? 24, right? I could just look at the cumulative frequency. Does that make sense? So that's primarily what it's used for. Okay? All right, so that was our goal for lecture 2. Be able to do a group frequency distribution. Okay, and we're done with that. Let me turn this off.